certain score as quickly as possible, this tournament would have been a one-to-one introduction to speedrunning for everyone who saw it. While the movie was not a smash hit, it was notable in several ways. In addition to being many people's introduction to Super Mario Bros. 3, the film would star young Fred Savage, fresh on the success of the television show for Wonder Years. Despite this, he wasn't the most popular actor in the film. That honor would go to Tobey Maguire, making his film debut in an uncredited role. The Wizard and video Armageddon was only the precursor to the real deal though. 1990 went to the first iteration of the Nintendo World Championship.
I'm unaware.
Dallas, Texas, was touring the country. In each city, contestants would be divided into 3 age groups. Once 30 city champions are made crowned in each age bracket, the main event would be held to Universal Studios Hollywood. The structure of the event would mirror what took place in the Wizard. Contestants were provided a unique cartridge specially tailored for each event. The cartridge featured copies of the original Super Mario Bros., the 1987 title Mad Racer, and 1989's Tetris. The goal was to accumulate the highest score every game in 6 minutes 22 seconds, and it wasn't a straightforward exercise. The game was to be played in sequential order, beginning with Super Mario Bros., continuing from Mad Racer, before ending with Tetris. In Super Mario Bros., like the players allowing Mario to die and respawn to complete Mad Racer. The players simply needed to be the first one in the game to grab the wrap up as many points as possible, whatever time was remaining. While the players could technically spend as much time as Super Mario Bros. And Mad Racer acquiring points as they finished.
Yo!
This incentivized them to keep the points for Super Mario Bros. Will remain unchanged, but Mad Racer was given a 10 times more point, while Tetris was given 25 points. In essence, this made playing either the first game for even a second was a immediate waste of time, as it would be better spent in Tetris. Speedrunning from Mario like Mad Racer was the optimal strategy. True nature approach to the most prevalent legal upgrades.
We will punch through.
Require making points is necessary for unlocking.
Oh, Iron Hands.
This leads to a more interesting number. Mario begins by hitting the 2 question mark blocks in the ground level of success games, or entering a high-paced Pokémon to obtain an additional BP.
Oh,
Exiting the point room, a death is
the AJ
taken,
though.
going back to the checkpoint earlier in the net.
Yeah, I kind of want
Once here, Mario jumps on top of the ring, another question mark block for putting secret. He then jumps under the ring and proceeds to hit another time so that he runs out of time.
Yo, do I Terra here?
Taking death to respawn.
Question marks.
At this point, all it takes is repeating those events.
What if I Terra?
In comparison to this, Mad Racer is
Do I Terra here?
the tournament cartridge simply contains the first level of the game. The optimal strategy
Live.
Matching winning is beneficial both for accumulating points in Mad Racer and moving on to Tetris as quickly as possible. Once in Tetris, the goal remains playing quickly, but only has an interim cost of completing 8 points. After 6 minutes and 21 seconds have passed, scoring will be called a victory. The winner of each age bracket will be awarded with a $10,000 US savings bond in 1990.
U.S. savings bonds. There's no way I love this. Shadow Ball. This is Chi's time. This is Chi-Yu's time. Yo! Fight me, coward. That's Tarot Blast. Nothing else beats it. Forget that dream. No. No. It's regular Toros, man. Does ground resist normal? What the fuck? I live. What? Dude, this is Spec Spite Ops. What's it gonna do? It's gonna kill me, probably. I'm faster! Circle, girl. This is Specs GU. What am I gonna do? I guess I could just kind of holes. I might just have to flamethrower. He has to circle. I might just have to flamethrower. I can't waste an overheat on Spite Ops. That'll do a lot, right? Dude, it's... I don't know. This is tough. I don't think Dark Pulse kills this thing, dude. I think I need it to, though. I can also flinch. I think I need it to kill. Yes, let's go. Oh, it's neutral? I thought, why don't bug resist dark? Yo. $12.89. You love to see the number go up. This is regular dog. Choice specs. Choice data. I'm very tight, right? Yeah. Yeah. Imposter. Shadow Ball? That is fine. Shadow Ball? That's weird. You're weird. Root bonnet or fuck. Now, do we stab punch or stab grass move just because we can? Let's try grass move. He has to switch, right? He's choice. He quit. He got outplayed. He quit. Oh my goodness. He got outplayed and quit. Doesn't even make sense. Flip. 0 to hero. Close combat. -1 flip? Dead. Nice try. Nice try. Woke up. Tarot blast. Ice cube. Ground type. Ice spinner. Strength sap. Decidueye can also switch to Impulse. How do I switch? I don't know. Break test. Gorilla. I have ice. I want it to bulk up, bro. I want it to bulk. I died! Why'd that do so much? Why did it do so much? Does photosynthesis work in sun? This is what I need the sun for. It's Jover. It's Jover. It's Jover. Choice band. 0. It actually 0. That did more. My belly drum. I gotta go for something crazy if I want to win, bro. I gotta go for something nuts. Oh, he stayed. Yeah, solar beam. Should have tarot cards. Wait a minute. use the Arbor League on Golden. Might be better than I am. Why does he have counters for everything? That's cool. I'm alive. Why did the Obrey kill him? He's greedy. Strike 7. Energy ball. Special defense. Energy ball is 50. Drop. This thing is fast. I like it. It's fast enough. Oh, it's faster than these cars. Dude, and the grassy terrain? It's kind of nuts. I might have to train one. Strength 7. I like grass types. Earth power. Rock. Energy. Grassy terrain -1. Bow. Fire. Ain't got died! No! No! I mean, I guess I could have won this situation. Whoa. Ice punch. I guess I should have thunder punch. So he doesn't have the information. What does it matter? He has one mod. Ah! Do I ice punch? Well, here's the thing. Yeah, that into Shadow Sneak, I win. Earthquake. I am living! Revival Blessing. I can pick? Oh. Does his ability come back? Does his ability come back? No. Maybe? We have to. I have to check, right? His ability does not come back. Is it because he's at half health? What? I wish I could show the chat, like me typing in the main chat. I'd be talking a mess. That's right. Palmy beats Geraldine. Guaranteed. Oreo versus Diane. Start. Why is everything loose to rock? 211. Yeah. Their defense is like the same. to sleep. Does anything want to go to sleep? Choice. He did that just to take this deal. Dancer. Oh. Body slam something? I thought he was switch. He did not switch. Hera? Bro, it's busted. It's busted. He said, well, this is just always on focus. There's no way he spores. What? Okay, he's paralyzed. I can't really hit it. Lurking. Spore. Yeah, I can Oricorio for free. Hacks are us. This guy's playing checkers. This guy is playing checkers. Buddy, diamonds. He just gets rocks. He has clear body. Oh my goodness. What if I go hard Komala right on the rocks? He diamond stored Komala. No! Gunk shot him. That did 0. What? Does rock resist poison? Oh no. I can't hurt this thing. Plus combat? Not the terror? He's plus freaking He thinks I'm scared of hacks are us. Got another thing coming. No! Wake up, Lagira! It did not hear me. He tried to cheat. He tried to cheat. I can't believe that. Diamond Storm is special, right? Might be physical. It's physical. Oh, clear body, so I just can't do it, period? Are you... Flinch. That's so annoying. I can't drain its attack. I woke up. Okay. He gave it to me. I was gonna combo. I gotta strike while the iron's hot. This thing can get out of here. That thing can get out of hand. It's a good thing I shift gear though. Now he thinks I don't have anything for the Diane. Told you. This is Zarude's time. Close combat. It didn't kill! No! Why did it kill? I guess I should have too. No bubble. I thought close combat was super effective. Oh, but it's spirit attack. Sub. DD. Terrible. Basket Legion. So that's what it was. That's the blue one. I have a shiny one, so don't mind me, Thunderbolt. I don't have stat power. GG's though. Except for when he tried to cheat. He saw my thing was asleep. I switched out. He went for Spore anyway. That was crazy. We got Lumineon against Arceus. That's a good sign. Good stuff. Is he faster? No. He's dark type. Worst part is I can't even hit it like properly. Can you close? You can fight and take on fire. Oh, I guess Ice Cube can do something. He can move again. Rag. Yo, what? You call me a waggy. It went through my ice thing. I kinda have to. I have electric chair. Yo, Ice Cube's trash. It couldn't even take out Arceus. That doesn't sound very nice. Frowny face. I'm trying to be a Pokemon master. I'm scared. U-turn. Let's full switch for damage. This is a steel type. Yikes! Oh I wanted to go with Minion too. I don't know, man. Blocked in. Rag. Why is it faster? Yikes. And I'm still not in electric terrain, so I just can't use this? Yoink. Why didn't that do anything? Did I tear him? Justified defiant. Oh, he nuzzled. What? I thought he was gonna U-turn for sure. I can still tear a E-speed. But then something else gets nuzzled. Oh no. Oh well, you know. It's like the dawn, as some people call it. Wave crash, Jesus Christ. Damn. 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 Oh, wow, my choice bets. Here's the thing that Terra's not the only, he has 2 water types. Break one, storm items. Oh! I'm gonna lose my staff. Bro, it comes down to this. I got a hit. He hit a crit too. What the heck? This is anime! Anime! Should've been calling people names, bro. That revival blessing was kind of clutch, man. He had some good games. I like to fight whenever I can. What is this? Rap? I've never seen that in my life. Do I have to get that to complete the Pokémon? See how streams. That's crazy. Hariyama, huh? You didn't need that flame more, right? Oh, haha. Should I go into my own guts flame more, Hariyama? Unless he knocks off. That'll be awkward. Light lens. Leftovers define. What is this? He switched into a scary moment. Oh, I have default. No, I don't have default. I have tidy up. Cringe. God damn it. I expected it. I thought Gamora had good defense. He's very tight. Do I have to Terra, bro? Why does Maina have no? The king. Kakong, kakong, kong, kong. Roach. Oh my goodness. Do I tidy up before? Yeah, because he has guts on this thing. I have to do this. Tidy up. What does white lens do? Oh, it's just for my accuracy because population bomb's trash. Willow. You fool! this mouse is gonna do some damage before it goes. Stop. Do I Terra this? No, we might have to go all in on the new mod, so population mod. Oh, I forgot this thing. I saw this exact interaction earlier in a freeze eye video. I'm pretty sure. I'm so stupid. What if he goes into drift right here, bro? No, Giga Impact. Why is he faster than me? What is this thing? There's no way the Dung Beetle evolves into this, right? Why does it kind of look like the Dung Beetle? Here's the thing, it's faster. It was faster than Brady. It's faster. Which means, I really want a revival blessing. What if we revival blessing Terra? Revival blessing. Wait, he has to recharge. He has to recharge. I don't know, man. Ain't that seem pretty good? Ain't that seem pretty good? I'm just saying, Bayonetta seemed pretty cool. Iced. What does it matter? Why doesn't that do anything? Psychic. Why am I faster than this? Oh. 104. Why is it so slow? We're both psychic. Why? The Terra doesn't even see it. Damn. I'm white for it. No. Couldn't even kill him. These are some nice video games. got everything on lock, like an army of clef keys. He's immune. Why? 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 Why is he immune? It's terrible. Thought I would get a toxic boost. I didn't. I didn't get it. Trick. Trick. Why didn't it? I can. I'm in pain. Oy. Oy. I think I'm scared of Sable. Attracting Willow was crazy. It's nuts. Why is he faster than me, man? Oh, prankster? Prankster. Things they don't. There's no way they carry Willow with Thunder Wave. That's exactly what I was gonna say. These pranksters, he's always faster than me. Oh, because I can't get on wings like I used to. He didn't do it. He's trash. He's trash. Oh. I didn't know he was trash, bro. Let's get it. He forfeited. Yeah. I don't know why. He was... Have I... Yeah, I started around 11. It has been almost an hour. I think I kind of... I climbed a little bit on the ladder. I really want to make a Little Cup team. Climb Little Cup. Here we go. Feel it in my soul. Protect. He said, well, let's see what he wants to lock himself into. That was kind of smart. Can I still do this? Not. Well, it's up one. What does that have to do with anything? Choice band aerials. We're going bird hunting. Yikes. Oh, I crit him. Big yikes. That's back into the strongest creature in the game. You can be Earthquake. He went right back into Masquerade? Why? Why though? Does he get Ice Beam? Does it have Ice Beam? What's wrong with Rubber Rain? Besides the fact that I have to commit to terrain. Fairy fighting. I don't know what to do, man. How do you hurt it? How do you hurt it? I don't know what moves it has. Reverie. Sticky one? I do have rapid speeds. First, let's show them why we're the car. Baby. He tried to stun sport me. What's wrong with this guy? This guy's crazy. Iron Head. What's wrong with this guy? Iron Head him too. Oh wait. I'm not supposed to use Steel on this guy. I forgot. Ice Beam. Too bad you're a Wish Cash. Bop, bop, bop. Or, nah, we should always knock off, I guess. Ruination does half right here. I'm faster than the camera up, right? I mean, of course I'm not. I could have. Why'd I go into the steel type? I'm part ground. I meant to go into the I'm drowsy. Version with no speed, that's nothing at all. Here we go. We beat it. I don't know why. I wish cash, but I finally beat it. I don't care, duck. Take up. Oh, shit. The can has liquid ooze, so we should be careful. It has liquid ooze. Oh, the damn sticky webs was faster than this. Damn it. Does liquid ooze heal the poison type? It does not. Yeah, you clicked it first. He's still outraged, right? Do I need this much speed? Am I crazy? Damn, I'm crazy, bro. Fuck. I can't beat Bloodstone. Electric terrain. Do I got past Symbian? No, not past Symbian. Pony? Just scare him. Masquerade. Fire. Burned him. Why didn't I stun it? They always have ice cream. I still have a slice of pizza. Happy days, oh happy days, when Jesus walked. Why is he faster than me? Don't chop his dark. When Jesus walked. When Jesus walked. That thing is low though, right? Yeah. You wash my sins away. Oh, happy days. Who's my rapid spinner? I have one though. Mighty Cyclozone. Fighting move behind the screens. Yup. Heavy duty boots. Of course he quit. I would have quit too. I would have quit too. If I was you, I wanna be me too. Two.
It's like, I'm trying to tell you the truth because I care about it. But if you guys are just going to keep going and like throwing Big Macs and double Big Macs, then it's like there's nothing I can't help you. And here it is, all these people that we agree
care for that have been right and right about so many things, but they don't want to accept the truth. And it's like they'll even read that thing about Vivek and they'll come up, they'll do gymnastics, they'll do Twister to try to find a justification for it, to the point where they'll even answer on Vivek's behalf to cover for him. Oh, that was 6 months ago. Yeah. Just like they do with Trump. They're like, he made a mistake. Bill Barr tricked him. Yeah. It's like,
I'm sure Vivek still believes that, but I think you nailed it. Where I think it's very smart people who thinks that the base is stupid, and they understand, like you said, in the consumer era of what do you want. We run a website now together called streamrare.com. Sometimes our biggest articles are the cheapest things we do. And I'm not saying cheap, but quick, not that important. And then the really important stuff that we're like very passionate about, takes us hours to do, doesn't get that many clicks. We'll still do what we believe, but from a business perspective, it actually doesn't make sense. It makes sense to feed people like cattle feed. And I'm not saying that's what it is, but like, lower tier stuff that's just click worthy, which it's part of the game, I understand. But with this sort of stuff, like if you want lies, or you want someone to lie to your face, and that's what you want, and when someone tells you the truth that bothers you, then people are inspired to lie. Like Vivek is probably a very high IQ person. He's a very good businessman. He worked with Big Pharma. He did that thing. He tweeted Soros op-eds. Like he's a professional chameleon. He's a smart guy. And now that he's in conservative politics, he's smarter than all these other idiots. Like Vivek, his IQ is probably like 2 times like Ted Cruz's. So it's one of these things where it's like he can study. It's not like I could study what the left wants and pretend to be a leftist. Very good. I'm a smart guy, but I just don't feel like doing that. I'm not a fake. But he that's the point that bothers me with him. Is like I would vote for Vivek over Trump at this point if I had to choose between the two in like an election. They're both not my top candidates. But I'm just saying, even though he's saying the right things and I don't believe he means them, at least he's saying them, and that is a step in the right direction. But when he writes a book and he says Vivek respects Mike Pence more than I do, yet he's up here acting like he's Trump's biggest bootlicker. And it's like, bro, read your book. I dare you to go to the Capitol and read your book that you wrote within the last 2 years. Read your book, bro. You don't know. You just want to give one. He's a politician. He doesn't believe it, but he's saying what he knows he needs to say, and he won't say the full truth because he knows the full truth will bother MAGA. And Sorry, Bobby, you're going to have to come back in. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'll figure it out after this. I apologize. It just keeps refreshing on us for some reason. But, yeah, when it comes to Vivek, what he wrote in his book, what he believes about Pence, etc.
Vivek.
He doesn't want to tell people that because he knows that's the end of his political career. It's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know what the hell's going on with my browser this time.
Welcome everyone. My name is Sean, and normally on this channel, when we talk about the bad actions of a particular judge, usually we're referring to a bail-like situation. Somebody's arrested, they have a long history, they're a repeat offender, they're a violent offender, yet they are released out on bond or without bond because the judge decided that this individual deserves to be free to re-offend again while awaiting trial. However, in this case, we actually have something oh so much more special because Houston is absolutely insane. I don't know what's going on in the state of Texas, and judges are actually releasing people after they're convicted of crimes, in this case a murder, to do important things like get their hair cut. Now we're going to get into this. Maybe I'll even suggest a barbershop for you somewhere down the line. But first, I want to thank everybody who signed up. ActualJusticeWarrior.com/join.
Oh, give me the money. Give me the money, okay?
And thank you to the podcast listeners. on Spotify, Apple, and Google's podcasting platform.
A Harris County judge allowed a convicted murderer to remain free on bond so he could get his hair cut. That's right, Fox 26's Randy Wallace has the latest in his ongoing series, Breaking Bond.
So first things first, and I know that this is very important to everybody out there in the audience, and if I didn't address it, I would get thousands upon thousands of comments about this, but yes, the woman right there, very attractive. I know what you're thinking, and what I need you to do is get thousands upon thousands of comments about this.
Is this a special
but yes,
attack?
the woman right there, very attractive. Clinton,
Or
I
by going
know
to
what
this
you're
big
thinking,
rock.
and what I need you to do is stop thinking about it. Now, moving on from this, let's get into the actual segment.
June 28, 2021. 30-year-old Gregory Moore was gunned down by 33-year-old James Ray Lane.
If he would have just hurt him, I'd have been fine with that. But he was shooting to kill.
Moore, a father of 4, was visiting Houston from New York.
So the story opens with absolute tragedy. You have a father of 4, a New Yorker, much like myself, except that I don't have any kids that I acknowledge, and he's down around visiting Houston, Texas, and he gets gunned down by somebody, a repeat offender, a violent offender, somebody who probably shouldn't have been out of jail in the first place, and he's killed. His parents are obviously here via Skype in this segment, and they're talking about how he shot to kill, which if you go into the particulars of this case, you know for a fact that this was an intentional homicide. Some would say in the state of Texas, something worthy of the death penalty, but for whatever reason, the judge seems to think a little bit different. The judge seems to be under the impression that the most important issue here is whether or not the killer has a haircut that he likes as he's going down for potentially life in prison.
Did something stupid.
351st Criminal District Court Judge Nana Cornelio lowered Lane's $250,000 bond to $100,000. He's been out on bond for 2 years
by the
and
hour.
has multiple trophy violations. August 17th, Lane is back before Judge Cornelio.
So we've seen this story over and over again, and honestly, it's really bad in the state of Texas for whatever reason. Maybe it's because they have better laws, so if you're going to have problems, they're going to come from the judicial branch in that state. But Houston, time and time again, produces judges that repeatedly lower the bond
We always go
for
faster.
convicted felons, for people with long histories of arrest, for people who should not see the light of day due to the fact that they committed a bunch of crimes, much less the crime that they're currently being charged for. Yet over and over again, we see Houston judges lowering bond, and this is for a murder charge. And by the way, as I've said a million times on this channel, when you are up for a bond, unless it's a stated flat amount, usually you only have to pay about 10 to 12% to a bail bondsman in order to get out. Now, a lot of people will retort, well, when you pay that to a bail bondsman, you don't get that money back. But the thing is, sure, that's true, but if you're a convicted murderer and you're up for a life sentence or maybe a potential death penalty, this incentivizes you to flee. And as you heard from this Breaking Bond segment, by the way, one of my favorite news segments across the country, he violated his curfew, the terms of his bond, multiple times during the course of the time that he was bonded out. Call me crazy, call me a vicious, evil person, call me a conspiracy theorist, but I think if you're up on murder charges and you violate any of the conditions of your bond, you should have your bond violated. But the judge actually thinks differently.
He goes back to court and actually pleads guilty to murder.
Now, another retort that I often get is that these crimes are alleged, innocent until proven guilty, and there's no history at all whatsoever of holding somebody.
This is a
involved,
hard
and even
Pikachu
though that's
counter, though.
completely ridiculous and untrue. In this particular case, we're talking about not the bail violations before he was convicted. We're talking about what the judge did after he was convicted. After he pled guilty to this murder, likely to avoid the death penalty, the judge decided to utilize her judicial discretion in a way that I find patently absurd and completely ridiculous.
Then, according to court documents, Cornelio allows Lane to remain free on bond until his sentencing so he could get a haircut.
I've not seen someone actually convicted of murder and then allowed to remain on bond pending the sentencing. That's a first.
Now, this sounds completely absurd and insane, but I will say there was a violent criminal in the city of Houston in particular. I believe we did a video about this. He wasn't convicted of murder, but he was convicted of crimes. He was let out pending his sentence. He never showed up. So then the police had to track down this guy, and I believe that person had 14 years hanging over his head. This guy in particular has a potential life sentence. Like I said, at least 25 years is to be expected for this brutal murder, yet he was let out, and specifically, according to the court documents, in order to get a haircut. Again, the guy's going to prison. He's going to Texas State Penitentiary for the crime of murder, and the judge is like, well, I'm very upset about your hair, young man, and you could have got your hair, before you came to court and pled guilty, but you know what? Your haircut matters. Black haircuts matter. Black lives matter. We're going to set you free because, honestly, it might be a civil rights violation in order to hold you accountable for the murder that you just pled guilty to. So the guy was released, and the Breaking Bond segment actually went to the barbershop where the story was hilarious, despite the fact that, of course, you're doing a story on a murderer, and the family is distraught, and 4 kids are without a father, and there's nothing about this story that should be hilarious.
We can confirm Lane did go to Mr. Dunn's barbershop for a haircut.
Oh, he just told me this was the last time that he was going to see me. And I was like, for what? He moved me. He's like, now I got to turn myself in. I was like, why is it going to be your last time? He was like, I murdered somebody.
Look, I know it's not supposed to be funny. I know this story is not supposed to be hilarious. But the thing is, this conversation with the barber, as recounted by the barber, just makes me laugh each and every time I think about it. The guy's in there getting his haircut. He's like, hey man, I'm not going to see you for a while. Probably stiffed him on the tip, if we're being honest. But if he's a good guy, if he's a decent guy, he probably gave him a tip for all his years of service. And he's like, why man? You moving somewhere? You doing something normal with your life? And he's like, nah, I got to turn myself in. And then he's like, what did you do? And the guy's like, I murdered somebody. I killed somebody.
I was like, why is it going to be your last time? He was like, I murdered somebody.
But by the way, the shape up is a little messed up on this side. Can you fix it? I know you're holding up the mirror. I know you're a little bit shocked. By the way, I am armed now, and I'm not paying for this haircut. It's one of the most absurd things that you could possibly imagine. And again, I appreciate the barbershop owner coming here. And by the way, the local news did a stellar job advertising this barbershop. So if you're in the neighborhood and you're looking for a kind ear and just maybe let out by a crazy judge, he might go to the local news and recount your conversation. Go check out this barbershop right here. I believe it's called Mr. Dunn's.
Gregor Moore's dad and stepmom couldn't believe the judge allowed Lane to remain free.
I think that's nonsense. Like, if he pleaded guilty, he should have been locked up right then and there. Like, why give him? It's been 2 years now.
So I just want you to think about who's talking about this and who's describing this as crazy. The family is from New York. We have New York State bail laws. So if you're charged with a number of crimes that you should be held pre-trial, regardless of your history, regardless of your intention to bail jump, you are not bail eligible in the state of New York. You're going to get the soft on crime treatment. And these people, New Yorkers, my people, talking about my old people, because I was actually born in Texas, are saying that this is ridiculous and absurd and it makes no sense and it's insanity, and they're 100% right. It makes no sense. The guy committed murder. He's looking at a giant sentence. The idea that he's going to just turn himself in, or more importantly, even if he does, the idea that as a judge you want to take the chance that this guy will just turn himself in makes no sense at all. It's terrible policy, and this judge, like many other Houston judges, should be removed from office. I don't know what's going on in the state of Texas.
Too many
options. I look at Governor Ron DeSantis getting rid of woke district attorneys in his state, and then I look over to Texas, which is a traditionally more red state, and Greg Abbott just won't take a stand on this issue. Honestly, Greg Abbott won't take a stand on almost any issue, in my opinion.
Letting him go get a haircut? For what? For what? My son can't get a haircut. My son can't spend holidays with us. He can't see his kids get a haircut. That boy should have been locked up from the beginning.
I like this lady. I'm so sorry for the loss of her stepchild, but she just makes perfect sense. And sometimes you need an average, everyday person, somebody who's not overly invested in politics or anything like that, or policy, to save the obvious. For what? Why does he need a haircut? He should be going to jail for life. Why is the judge letting him out? So he can see his barber one last time. He took a father away from his 4 children. He took a son away from his parents, from his father. This is a ridiculous thing, but it just goes to show you the complete and utter sea change that we've had in this country, in large portions of this country, even in red states, towards how we view the criminal. I think somebody who murders somebody, who goes out of their way to intentionally commit this crime against a father visiting a city that he's not aware of, is a scumbag, and I think they deserve to be sent up a creek for a very long time. The judge looks at this person, thinks, you know what, $250,000 bond, that's too high. You know what, following the conditions of your bond, that's too onerous for you. You know what, just because you're convicted of a murder and you have a long criminal history that led up to that murder doesn't mean that you're not entitled to a haircut at your favorite barbershop. I think you're deserving of that because you've been such a good young man, not even following the conditions of the bond that I, the judge, laid out for you. This is a mentality. It's cancerous. It's something that is infecting this country. And again, I will state it for the millionth time. It happens in red states. And if you think it's just a tainted person, sure, that's where it's more prominent. But these people get out. They go affect people all around other communities. You can't just wall yourself off because guess what? The crime spills out. They are driving up the crime in our nation, and it could impact you. Believe me, there are a number of cases of people coming out to the burbs, people coming out to neighboring counties, solid red counties with solid government officials, and victimizing good people who would never even dream of voting for this.
Back in March, Judge Cornelio allowed Christopher Diaz to remain free on bond after pleading guilty to assaulting a family member and getting a 14-year prison sentence.
Christopher Diaz has had multiple felony convictions.
Diaz spent a month on the run after he failed to go back to court to begin his prison term.
So this is a story that I referenced earlier in the segment. I believe we did a video on it, but honestly, I don't remember. But my point is, the guy was convicted. He was looking at a lengthy sentence, a lengthy criminal history, and guess what? Turns out, when he knows he's going to be sentenced for a long period of time, he decided to flee. He decided to escape, and it took them over a month to recapture this person, which should not have needed to be done in the first place because he was convicted, and all you have to do is put somebody awaiting sentencing. I mean, seriously, how stupid can we get in terms of criminal justice policy? While there are limited circumstances where I'm sure letting somebody go home when they're awaiting their sentencing hearing makes sense, this is patently absurd. This isn't even an innocent until proven guilty kind of situation. This is, you're guilty, but we kind of don't care, even though you have every incentive to run because the trial phase is over. We're going to give you a chance because you know what? The criminal's needs, wants, and desires matter more than the victim. You think the judge even faced the victims when she pulled this decision? You think the judge thought that she had to address this to the public? No. She feels like there's no accountability for her actions. She doesn't care about the victims, so she's just enforcing her ideology from the bench over and over and over again, and honestly, it's absolutely shameful. But hey, those are just my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you like the video, show by leaving a like. Subscribe for more content. Follow me on my social medias to support me with the support links in the description of this video. This has been me talking about a Houston judge going way out of bounds. Until next time.
And dive in. The major question going into this first debate was whether the 8 candidates on stage could or would do something to change the basic pattern or trajectory of this race that's so far been dominated by the front-runner Donald Trump, who skipped tonight, citing his commanding lead. Well, with the debate wrapping up, it appears for now that the status quo probably will remain. No candidate on stage substantively changed their stance on the former president. Trump's name was actually barely mentioned by anyone.
Shut your lying mouth.
One camp, passed in one camp, tells you a lot more about them than the actual substance of the argument between the two, because you guys know for a fact that I am on Team Anna Kasparian in a lot of recent things. However, I don't think that the way that she went after Bosch is the most effective thing, so I think it's important for me to check my biases in order to tell you about this story in the most accurate way possible. And speaking of checking your biases, this video is brought to you by Ground News, so let me toss it to the ad read, then I'll come back over here and I'll talk to you on the other side about this story. Trust in media is at an all-time low. Information is fragmented, and it's hard for the average person to get a full picture from all perspectives on what's going on. And the reason behind this is digital media companies are actually incentivized to keep you on their site, and they figured it's way easier to do that if they consistently tell you what you want to hear rather than give you a full picture. This is one of the reasons why I was so happy to be contacted by Ground News to do this sponsorship. A week before they contacted me, I recommended this to somebody who was asking for help getting out of a bubble, and the reason for that is because Ground News has an excellent system.
Yes!
If you go on their app or on their website, you can scroll through and see that each article and each headline actually has a score that tells you who's covering it and who's pushing it. On top of that, they have this amazing blind spot feature that shows you stuff that is not being covered by your preferred political side. And in that blind spot feature, I was actually really happy to discover good information related to the Trump indictment, because this is something that is heavily divided along partisan lines. Now, I was able to find this amazing story about how the prison that Trump is supposed to be processed in actually has a ton of problems, and unfortunately, it's not being covered virtually at all by the right-wing media. It's a center and it's a left story, and it's something that I definitely want to look into for myself. Go to ground.news/justice to stay fully informed on breaking news, monitor your bias, and know where your sources are coming from. Use that specific link and you will get 30% off unlimited access to the website. And hell, you could even start running through the sources under each and every one of my videos so you can check if I'm giving you biased information. That's ground.news/justice, ground.news/justice.
I think Bosch is trash. Okay? And if you actually genuinely do watch Bosch on a regular basis, you also know he's trash.
So like many of you at the beginning of this month, I was greeted with this amazing video of Anna Kasparian going after Bosch, calling him trash, calling him garbage, and all of those positive things that we all want to see in the world, because who doesn't enjoy when left fighting, and who is more deserving of this than Bosch? Very few people, possibly Lance from the Surf. Actually, as a matter of fact, maybe definitely Lance from the Surf. So it's all good stuff right here. I'm glad that Anna has figured out that Bosch is not a good person.
And yes, Bosch, I think you're garbage. I think you're trash.
Because there are tons of examples of Bosch being a trash, garbage person. I believe the video called Bosch is Unironically Evil is something like 2 hours long, documenting this phenomena. But the thing is, Anna then goes to the examples, and this is where I gotta take issue with it, and where I gotta be perfectly honest with all of you.
I found a lot of interesting things about what you have to say about the transgender community. Tried to scrub the internet of those videos. I found them. I'm really curious why you thought it was okay to say the kinds of things about them that you did, including the fact that you think that they have mental illness, they're struggling with mental illness, that's what this is about, they're the most toxic people on the internet. I've got the receipts. I'm ready to show them.
So after Anna calls Bosch garbage and trash and all that good stuff, she immediately talks about videos that Bosch doesn't like to be played on the internet, where Bosch is allegedly insulting the transgender community as a whole, as mentally ill, as the most toxic people on the internet, and all the things that you heard Anna Kasparian say. Now, to be clear, Bosch did say those things, and yes, this actually denotes a level of hypocrisy that Anna is correct in calling out, which I will address later. However, I do need to clarify that I've seen these videos. I will play snippets of the videos that I found on the internet.com, because there's some missing context here that I don't think Anna is explaining fully, if I'm being perfectly honest. Now, granted, she's heated in this moment. It's a live show, but the facts are what they are.
The left community online, particularly the LGBT community, is cancerous issue. If you're not an idiot, you will agree with me on this. If you have any experience with online or LGBT or leftist discourse, you know it's cancerous issue. You understand that a ton of mental illness. And
wait, I'm poison type.
They have to be excised.
So Bosch clearly and obviously right there is referring to a specific segment of his audience that essentially tries to weaponize their transgender status and or their mental illness in a toxic way.
I was 12 something before. I was 1352.
That are typically pro-transes, pro-transgender, and call them transphobic.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing is, he's not wrong about these people existing. In fact, we've discussed these people existing in the past. Remember when Jank's nephew, the largest political Twitch streamer on the platform, said that he was afraid to play a Harry Potter game due to the fact that these very same people would call him transphobic.
I'm not playing this game, and I know a bunch of other people are not playing this game, is because we know that it's not worth it to get fucking bullied endlessly and called transphobic endlessly when we have massive queer communities and audiences. That's it. Everybody knows how much leftist motherfuckers love to chirp on the internet. They got no power. All they do is chirp, and that's precisely why so many fucking people that would otherwise like play it, maybe even raise money for charities or whatever. They're not doing it.
Now, because this is a real phenomenon, because there is additional context that explains what Bosch was saying in that particular clip, I don't think if this is the clip that Anna Kasparian is referencing, which I can't imagine there's something different, that Anna really hit the mark in her critique right there. However, and this is absolutely crucial, one of the things that Bosch was talking about right there was the fact that these toxic people try to weaponize their gender identity and label people who are even on their side as trans.
This is broken. Flinch.
And that's exactly what Bosch is doing to Anna Kasparian, and exactly who he's fueling in his audience. And considering Anna Kasparian's criticisms of the transes are much milder than Bosch's criticism right there, Anna actually does have a very solid hypocrisy point in order to hit Bosch with, because Bosch has been among the worst in calling Anna Kasparian a TERF, a transphobe, and all those things, feeding that portion of his audience that he acknowledges is there and describes himself as toxic, and using them to go after Anna Kasparian on his behalf. So if Anna tweaked this exact point a little bit, I actually think she's 100% in the clear. However, that's not really how she presented it, and I think it is crucial that we get this in the totality of its context. Now, moving on, I think we're going to find out what this is actually about.
But calling me a bitch TERF, because I just don't think that it's, politically advantageous to refer to women as birthing people or people with a uterus, that's terrible. I can't do that. But you can say some of the most disgusting things about the transgender community and then pretend like you have the moral high ground? You're garbage, Bosch. I don't respect you, which is why I don't want to talk to you.
Now, to give credit to Anna Kasparian, and again, she does a live show. This is a live reaction to a chat message on the spot, so it makes sense that her thoughts are a little jumbled and or out of order. But right there, she made 75% of the point that I made. However, she didn't really focus on the fact that Bosch acknowledges these people are toxic and then uses them as a way to attack her, even though he said comparatively much worse things about the same community. Also, it's clearly personal.
But calling me a bitch TERF, because I just don't think that it's, politically advantageous to refer to women as birthing people or people with a uterus, that's terrible. I can't do that.
Now here's the thing. A lot of people have attacked Anna Kasparian for bringing up this personal angle, for emphasizing it and why she's angry with Bosch, but that's just ridiculous, and I actually think it's perfectly reasonable given the context of how these two spoke to each other for her to do that. When Bosch was first on the Young Turks, when Anna had the conversation with him, she said prior to that conversation, and I believe even in that conversation, that she was warned by a bunch of people not to have him on, that
he actually just lose to
that. And as a part of
you
Anna's
hate to see
broader expanding political views, because this was during that period of time, she decided to buck what those people were saying because she believed that they were trying to keep her in a bubble and give Bosch a chance. And they had a very courteous conversation where they got along, and for a while, all things were good. However, the thing is, everything that they said about Bosch was 100% right. He is the kind of guy, much like the Serfs, that is going to put a knife in your back when it's convenient, is going to attack you in a lot of vicious personal ways. And for Anna Kasparian, just like any normal person, when you go out of your way to give somebody the benefit of the doubt and they spit in your face, obviously you're gonna be angry in response to that. And again, even though Anna Kasparian didn't emphasize this point, I'm sure she's not happy about the fact that Bosch acknowledged that these group of people, this segment of the audience that weaponize their gender identity, I believe TYT's calling them the radical trans activists, which, by the way, aren't even all trans people. He weaponized them and threw them at Anna, even though he is acknowledging in those very clips that these people act in unhinged ways and they don't care about your overall politics and the way that they engage with politics and the way that they use mental illness as a shield or as a virtue point status or something like that is completely unhealthy for the political discussion. And considering he can acknowledge that on the one hand, but then throw it at Anna Kasparian when she has much milder criticisms of the transes community, it seems like it's a completely asinine kind of thing to do. But when you realize that it's Bosch and he's a horrible person and he's garbage...
And yes, Bosch, I think you're garbage. I think you're trash.
You understand that this was entirely predictable. But then again, Anna did give him that chance. She did offer him an olive branch, and he spit in her face, so this is where we are.
Look, guys, the thing I can't say is when people say crazy, horrible things about us, and they go, why are you asking me? Why are you saying
It's so bad. Congratulations, Bosch. You got the attention you so desperately want. You're trash. That's what I think of you.
It's like, well, I'm just calling you guys the R-word and stuff, but why are you attacking me? Okay, so guys, to all, it's not just about Bosch. To all the criers out there who say horrible, horrible things about us, and then when we tweet you back, I don't need your stupid tears. Go away, okay?
But Cenk goes on this whole thing about how Bosch is doing it for the money, for the clickbait, or for whatever. And honestly, it's true, but it's not.
He said,
"How
already still already cool though? I'm
applicable to the Young Turks and Anna Kasparian as he's leading you to believe by the way that they talk. It is, in fact, just the fact that these kind of people from the streaming world that are hyper-competitive in a way that normal YouTubers just don't seem to be, want to generate drama in order to get clicks and attention, and they're willing to burn personal bridges and attack people below the belt in order to do so. However, it's not necessarily a thing where they're trying to engage with the Young Turks particularly. It's just that Anna was a hot topic. Bosch had the connection. He wanted to throw out what he was going to throw out. Anna ended up engaging with it, and he got exactly what he wanted. Bosch's response to this, almost 30 minutes long. It's a 2-minute clip.
So fine. I mean, what am I going to, like... Look, I want to talk about this. So, you want to debate? What are we going to debate? I don't even... Your positions are not consistent. So am I debating the Bosch that hates trans people, or the Bosch pretending to love trans people?
I don't know. What's hot right now online?
Okay, where's the money? Where's the money?
Yeah.
Oh, have I got you to talk about me? Have I got into your algorithm move? Yahoo! Guys, there's a literal cottage industry of people being paid, but you know, through the views, etc., to attack us, and then pretend that they're...
Like they're trash, exactly.
Whoa, Cenk. There is not people, creators out there that get paid lots of money over the course of years to attack the Young Turks in video after video after video after video. That seems a bit overstated. I don't think that as the biggest channel that does that is a real, genuine phenomenon. But that being said, what Cenk was actually referring to right there was not like the direct attacks or the direct responses that somebody like me would give. I think what Cenk is referring to is all these videos where they bring up Anna as the topic, they put her in the thumbnail, or the Young Turks, or whatever, and they soft pedal, soft walk through the criticisms, and people end up watching them on the hopes that eventually they're going to say something interesting. However, they are trying to have their cake and eat it too. credit where credit is due, at least a little bit, to Bosch. He went on a burning bridge spree, and he actually burned the bridge. A lot of these other lefty people have like settled. They sneak attack Anna, or they'll brutally say something about her in the middle of this, but they'll front load it with all this faux praise, and then when they get called out for the vicious, nasty things that they say, like the serfs, rather than own up to it like an adult, like a man, they'll end up cutting together clips of them praising them at the beginning and never address the things that they actually said that actually got their attention, that the Young Turks were
I gotta start exploding. I want to use this.
Bosch is talking about and doubling down on the things that he said, but to be 100% fair to Bosch, which he does not deserve, there are much better clips of him that Anna could have referenced and or played that really show what kind of a scumbag that he actually is. I mean, some of the best clips from that Bosch's unironically evil video are the clips of Bosch in particular, where he's talking about how
why'd he go into mobile? I could have blasted him.
And it doesn't matter about being consistent or anything like that. He just wants to be the victor because that will increase the success of him. And, you know, he says by extension the socialist agenda or whatever, but in reality, it's definitely all about him. I would focus more on that than the way that this was framed in particular. And if you have to talk about this, I would point out that Anna's criticisms of the trans community are much milder. Bosch has made very similar criticisms about weirdo pronouns and all these other things. But when Anna does it, all of a sudden Bosch says it's a white woman moment and goes out of his way to personally attack her. I do think the personal scorn is legit, it is real, but it's predictable.
He's attacking what's in front of him, I'm attacking what's in front of me.
Gave him the benefit of the doubt, and she got burned. However, I don't think
he
was as coherent as it could have been. Believe me, there's plenty more things that you could go after Mr. Bosch on. There's plenty clips that he wants to scrub from the internet for real, and he's worked diligently to get rid of, that are all out there in the public, and really, and I mean absolutely, show you what kind of person he actually is. But hey, those are just
you went into a
let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you like the video, show by leaving a like, subscribe for more content, follow me on the social media, support me with the links in the description of this video. This has been me talking about Anna versus Bosch. Until next time.
Conversation with the candidates continues right now. Thank you for clicking on our extended conversation with the candidate, with Vivek Ramaswamy, a Republican running for President of the United States. We have a lot of questions from our New Hampshire Town Hall audience here. We're going to try to get to as many as we can in the next half hour. We're going to start things off with Carl Peterson.
Thank you. You have stated that you would shut down the FBI and build a new one. Can you give us some major specifics on that?
Sure. So I think that when an administrative bureaucracy becomes so corrupt in its culture, when it becomes so hardened in its ways, you actually can't.
Dude, I gotta start booming on something.
It's my experience with you have to shut it down.
I gotta start booming
and then create something built from scratch based on first principles to take its place. So the way I look at it is, this is not a partisan issue. The same.
Whoa! That's not fair.
That's the same FBI that today engages in political behaviors often targeted against conservatives. But this is not a Democrat or Republican issue. It's a fundamental issue that we should want a federal law enforcement agency that doesn't take attention to politics and just enforces the law. So how would I do it? First step is we shut down the FBI, but in rebuilding it, we would staff it for people who actually come from diverse law enforcement backgrounds across the country, who still have the skill set needed to do this. And the principles that we would use is actually, there was a fear-mongering in this country before when we had partial government shutdown to say that we were going to have security failures across the country because that actually took a lot of the FBI and shut it down before. Well, it turned out none of that played out. And that actually gives us a good blueprint for following that model, for making sure that we're not going to risk safety and security in this country while we still actually build up that bureaucracy in a clean way. We don't even want to be a bureaucracy. Build up a federal law enforcement apparatus that respects the law instead of making it up, but do it in a way that doesn't
He's so
Americans
greedy,
at risk. And the two key components are follow the shutdown model. We've already had government shutdowns where we've done this before, so it's not that unfamiliar.
Wow, he was just supporting government shutdowns. He talking about it's not that unfamiliar. Wow, this clown. You have a fire move. Kawaii. I gotta go Play-Doh though, right? Ah, I knew it. He's asleep. That thing has Intimidate. I'm a boomer. I knew he was gonna go Moa. Ah, I need it. Free Fire Blast? Kinda gotta go for one. Ampharos. A lot. My last mon isn't even. Wait. Oh, it's easy. My last mon isn't even helpful. Do I need blast tools? It's faster. Let's see what happens. He thunderbolted. No. You bastard! I see a lot. I see a lot. Fire punched me twice. I could have got an easy flash fire boost. I wanted to go Flareon too. Damn! Why? Why? God damn it. Now it actually is down to Fire Blast, bro. I tried to get a Leaf Seed off at least. That's one. Yeah, I know. We don't have time. That's 2. Just hit your fire blast, kids. I kind of outplayed them there because I used Roar to look at his team before he revealed it, so I knew who I needed to save. I still didn't want it to come down to fire blast, bro. Do a few more games.
Welcome everyone. My name is Sean, and today I want to talk about what's going on
not Gen 3.
California in terms of retail theft. Recently, I did a story, a tale about how Karen Bass has instituted this anti-retail theft task force, and that led a lot of people to believe that at least Los Angeles was moving in a positive direction. However, they decided to kind of go the opposite way almost immediately at the statewide level. So earlier this month, there was a viral video out of a 7-Eleven in the state of California where a man got behind the counter and was loading up a giant garbage pail with cigarettes. Now, I can only imagine that he was stealing these cigarettes in order to feed his starving kids' nicotine addiction. But if you'll remember this video, it ultimately ended up with the 2 people behind the counter, the employees of the store, beating this criminal with sticks, and everybody on the internet.com cheering because America is sick of crime. However, America is not really represented pretty well in the state of California because a state assembly person in the state senate, to be specific, has recently decided that he's going to put forward a bill to essentially make it impossible for incidents like this to happen. Yes, that's right. In the name of work safety, Senate Bill 553 is going to protect the criminals from any consequences from the employees for their ongoing retail theft sprees. We're going to get into this, we're going to break it down, but before we do that, I just want to say thank you to everybody who signed up. ActualJusticeWarrior.com/join.
Oh, give me the money. Give me the money. Okay?
There you can get early access to the videos on the secret video page. And thank you to the podcast listeners, Spotify, Apple, and Google's podcasting.
Well, retail theft and smash and grab robberies are the big problem across the nation, and right here in this area.
And that's why California lawmakers are working on a bill that would ban employers from forcing workers to confront shoplifters.
So let's break down what was just told to us by this local news person, because it doesn't make any sense at all when you think about the problems in the state of California. Essentially, in that state, because they don't prosecute shoplifters, because you can't send repeat offenders of these supposedly non-violent, not serious crimes to the state penitentiary, and they have to be sent to county jail, and the county jails are overcrowded, so they end up being released over and over and over again. You have ever-escalating incidents of retail theft going on across the state. Now, eventually, when employees fear that they're going to lose their job, or fear that other things might go down as a result of these thefts, intervene. Violence is caused by the perpetrator, and in order to protect the workers, they're going to make it nearly impossible for them to intervene, rather than address the fact that these perpetrators, who are escalating as their behavior is going unpunished, keep committing the violence.
Bill introduced by State Senator Dave Cortese aims to prevent workplace violence by preventing employers from forcing their staff to confront active shoplifters.
That's our saying that this is the protection of employees. We believe this increase the shoplifting.
So this guy right here is among a bunch of business owners, small business owners, we're talking about gas stations and whatnot, that have come to protest this specific bill. They actually booed the state senator that ended up opposing it, and one of them got in
I don't
his
even
face,
have
which I
the
will show
damn
you in a
move,
video
dude. What
later.
the fuck?
But the heart of what they're saying is 100% true, because not only does the Senate bill essentially make it impossible for store owners to require their employees to intervene in any of these thefts, if they do intervene and any incident becomes violent, it actually drowns them in paperwork. It requires all this different documentation if somebody comes into a store and assaults you, that essentially is going to incentivize business owners to not have their employees anywhere near these perpetrators just because of the paperwork alone. Again, some of these businesses are family owned. They only have 5 employees. Do you think they have the time when they're being robbed each and every day to fill out all these different paperwork incidents based on the violence? This is clearly and obviously a bill that maybe is genuinely intended to protect workers, that will have the result of depressing the reported retail thefts, specifically in small businesses.
Every day or every other day, people are coming openly. All cases filed online report. We are in a bad situation.
You hear that? This guy says every day, every single day, he ends up having to deal with these retail thieves. He goes to make a report. It takes over 10 hours for anyone to show up. And eventually, he's told to file his report on the internet.com, and nothing gets done.
We've seen it across the state and locally. Last year, smash and grab theft at a jewelry store in the Roosevelt Galleria.
He lowered my spit.
Tobacco from a 7-Eleven. The workers seen fighting back.
Now, as you can see, they showed one of these infamous smash and grabs, and then they referenced that 7-Eleven video that I was talking about earlier, and it appears to me that that is the inspiration for them getting rid of the ability of store owners to have their employees fight back against the criminal.
Stop this nonsense. Pass a bill to protect the small businesses, not the criminal.
Again, if you actually cared about retail theft, organized or otherwise, there's clearly an easy way for you to deal with these problems, and that is to arrest and hold the repeat offenders who continuously commit these crimes. You could also propose a bill that amends that state assembly bill that makes it impossible to put these people in prison, and do so in such a way that you
talking about nerd stuff. I play rough. What if I show smash? Choice specs. What? I thought that would do a KO for sure. Now let's try this liquidation thing again. Now that's bad. Stunt. Sucker punch. Oh my goodness. Dragon pulled our comeback just now. Uh-oh. I can Terra. Why? I'm gonna want to Thunderbolt anyway. I might as well hit this guy. Thunderbolt. Recover? He's just gonna wait till I hear her? I'll crit you with that. But yeah, look, expect that drop. Get out of here, man. Kill me. Doesn't matter, now I gotta split that. This thing has protect, right? Wait, why would it have protect? Yeah. Knock off. Are you joking? I could have nasty plotted there. But this thing has Aqua Jet. Wave, why is it faster than me? Oh man, I was battling though. That was such a good fight. There's no music on this one. Hardcore. Why is that? Bro, are you joking? Crit. Oh my gosh. This thing is good, man. It's scary. And if I hit him, I get grassy turn. So good. Alright, Bramble Gash, you're not really pulling any weight. Dude, I'm gonna lose my damn. No, man. I'm gonna lose my damn Impoundon. Like, nothing can switch into. Wait. Oh, intimidate. Oh, intimidate. And then what? Gyarados get 2 hit, man. Choice. What investment? I love that. Toxic. 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 And I love what you do. You know that you're toxic. I traced Seed Sower. I did trace Seed Sower. Well, Spikes! Terra Steel, what's wrong with this guy? What is wrong with this guy? Oh my goodness. This guy is nuts. I have rapid spin. Heavy duty boots. What? Why are you awake? I have insomnia. I'm cooking. Arcanine? I'm faster than Arcanine. The issue is I can't hurt it. But he knows. And he knows. I might need this Jelly Bird. It has Insomnia. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Let's go in the garden part. Hit him with the Intimidates. Morning Sun. Wow. Wow. What's its item? It won't tell me. Oh, what a trick. What a trick. Heavy duty boots. Let's go. I lost my Hippowdon. No, I needed that. I needed that. Yes, toxic. He doesn't have sleep. That's way worse. He already knows what he want to do. That's toxic. But he's locked in, dude. I think we sacked this guy. Toxic. Yeah, that's fine. I need another spike. He's steel type, so he's gonna be taking damage now. RKKK now. Dude, what do I strength sap against, man? You. No. No. How are you faster than... I'm 1 point faster than Arcanine. What? This thing gets rapid speed. Energy ball. What do I do? We just do this. Strength set. I'm alive, by the way. Sea sword. Energy ball. Do we get the terrain? Yeah, we get the terrain. Why is Psychic not super? Why do I think Psychic's super effective on grass? I didn't do anything. Wait. This thing's heavy duty boots. Oh. You know, he's probably Volt tapping. Okay, there's just nothing else I can do. This is normal to me. It's energy. I can't break through, man. I just can't break through. I just can't break through. This thing is so slow. It's slower than fucking our balloon. Oh, I kind of threw it. It still killed? What? Oh, I guess it was. What is this bramble gas doing? Why do I still have health? Choice scarf. Choice scarf. Eternatus! I forgot he had another Pokemon. Let's go! Greatest trainer of all time! Who cares about a reflect? I guess. Does Chilling Nade do something? Or is that just boosting my attack? Why can they not kill me? I needed a crit. I needed a crit. The glass cheer came in real clutch at the end though, huh? Dang. I gotta stop streaming.